Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone and depending from where you're watching us from. This is Biafra Watchman TV. We are live and we are direct. We are here to bring you the gospel of redemption. And we are here to set the record straight. We are here to speak that bitter truth without fear or favor. And if today is the first time of coming across our video, please subscribe, like, and share. Very important. You see this woman here? I've been saying I will make a video about this woman, but today I've decided to make a video about her. Whoever that knows this woman, please, genuine be your friends. If you guys know how this video will get to her, please, I would implore you people to make sure you share the video. Or if you know her personally, I want you to send this video to her, because enough ought to be enough. Madam, let me just talk to you with courtesy today. I don't know if you have a husband, but the way I'm seeing you, it looks as if you have one. You are under a man. The way I'm seeing you psychologically, I don't know. It seems you are under a man. And the way I will address you, my instinct told me that you are under a man. So I will address you. The respect I will give to you is because of the man whom my instinct is telling me you are under. Woman, if you love your family, if you love your children, and if you love your generation, stay away from this evil you are doing. You see these lies, deceit you are propagating, stay away from it. And if how I wish your husband will come across this video to caution you, so that you will stop this thing you are doing before it becomes too late. I listened to what you said here. I watched this particular video. You said a lot of things, and the way when I was listening to all the things you said, honestly speaking, you make no sense. Now, I like to take people point by point. That is why I just cut out this place, because here is the bone of contention in that almost 5 hours to how many hours video you made. You centers your broadcast or your propagation based on Adadioramma and why she recorded Ngozi Orabeze when they were having discussion. Madam, in this video you made, you also acknowledge that it's been long you are following Simon, and it has been long you are following MNK. Yes, according to this video you made. Madam, you want to tell me in all the things, when you were playing the conversation between Ngozi, Diana, and Adadioramma, and you heard what all of them said, what was running into your mind, or what were you thinking when Ngozi was making all those utterances? What was running into your mind? You heard Ngozi clearly when she said, Ogenkere, Sonia Barawa, they are doing their own connection and their own racket is governors, instant governors. That she, Ngozi, is operating federal. I want to ask you, when you were following Nnamdi Kanu, If Nnamdi Kanu happens to make such statement, or Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, let me accord him that respect because he deserves it. If he happens to listen to maybe Uchemefo, because when Uchemefo had issue with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if Uchemefo happens to record Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, like George Onibe did, yes, if you guys could recall, when George Onibe had issue with MNK, that MNK sacked him, he released an audio. And in that audio, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu called him, say, what kind of broadcast are you guys making? What kind of broadcast are you making? That he should stop that rubbish and get away from that station or from that Radio Biafra. Yes, if you guys can recall, MNK warned him, what kind of broadcast is that? You should stop that rubbish now and get away, get out from that Radio Biafra. I'm asking you a question. If that time Uchemefo had issue with MNK, if Uchemefo should release conversation where MNK said, who will I use as an example now? That or MNK and Uchemefo was having issue with MNK, and MNK had a conversation with somebody, and MNK told the person that Uchemefo is operating local, that the connections that Uchemefo had ends with state governors, that him, MNK, his own contact is federal, that they should go and tell Uchemefo. I'm using the exact word. What's her name? Ngozi used in that conversation. I'm asking you now. I'm using MNK as a case study with Simon now. If MNK should tell somebody, maybe he was having conversation with somebody, and in that conversation, the person recorded it, and MNK said they should go and tell Uchemefo that his own connection and his own contact ends in Igbo governors, that him, MNK, his own contacts and connection is federal. That if not for this Biafra, he would have been a minister. Will you still be following MNK? In your heart of heart, will you say that MNK is fighting for Biafra freedom? I'm asking you, woman. I don't want to use vulgar word on you because the way I sees you, my instinct is telling me that you are under a man, that you have a husband. I'm respecting that man. That is why I am talking to you in this manner. Maybe, I don't know if my instinct is lying to me, but my instinct is telling me that you are under a man. But that one aside, if MNK should say such word, will you still follow MNK? Will you still believe that MNK is fighting for Biafra restoration? I'm asking you. If MNK should bring out, when MNK was telling Biafrans we all should go on Twitter, that is on Twitter that everything is happening. We should go on Twitter, even during Friday conversation. Before you call MNK will ask you, do you have a Twitter handle? If you don't have a Twitter handle, he will tell you that you are not qualified to call. If MNK should bring out Sharia bank account and instructed Biafrans to go and pay money for the liberation of Biafra in that account, I'm asking you, woman, will you take MNK serious? In your heart of heart, will you say that MNK is fighting for Biafra restoration? is a question. If MNK should publish that or should post the video Ngozi posted when they had a charade they called 40 State of Biafra March, which they stand on top of Biafran flag, but I don't want to go that side. If MNK should come out after publishing that video and said, out of that 40 states of Biafra, which we know that the people in that video, I don't think if they are up to 30, and said each state got 2 million naira, and that 40 states, the total, if you times that 2 million by 40, it will be 80 million. If MNK should make such utterances, should say such a thing, will you, in your heart of heart, said MNK is honest to Biafrans and he is fighting for Biafra restoration? The same thing is applicable to Simon Ekpa. If these two people happens to display or show the things Ngozi is showing now, will you say that they are fighting for Biafra freedom? I am asking you this question. You know the truth. Now, in that video you made, you said, why did the one Isiocha recorded the video, the conversation? Now, your problem is not the discussion they had. Your problem is, why did she recorded the conversation? This is your bone of contention. The things Ngozi said in that or their conversation is not a problem to you, but the problem is why they recording. As I am here, let me use myself as a case study now. If anything, I know that maybe I'm discussing with you, you recorded me. That thing you recorded, the things you recorded that I said, if I cannot say it in the public, if you call me on phone, I cannot say such a thing. I cannot say such a thing. Whatever I will say in private, I will say it in public. Wake me up and tell me, I hear say you say this thing, I would still tell you exact thing. Even the exact, I will even add more. Desist from this evil you are doing. You know the truth from your heart of heart. You know the truth. You know the truth. You know that Ngozi is far. Is not even close in the fight for Biafra restoration. I'm asking you, why are you suppressing the truth? Why do you choose to use your platform and your media to propagate lies and deceit? So you don't know that this video you are making today will be a history that our children's yet unborn will one day make research and get hold of this video you are making. So you don't know that this our quest for Biafra restoration or our movement to Biafra restoration, don't you know that history will one day reveal it, or history is being recorded? So you don't know. The video, the way you are subversing truth, the way you are suppressing truth, the way you are propagating lies, the way you are propagating falsehood, 10, 20 years to come, if you see this here video and watch, Will you be proud of yourself? This is a question I'm asking you. Will you be proud of yourself? If your children's children should one day lay hands on this video and they happens to make research on what is happening today and discover that a certain woman called Ngozi, why their ancestors, why their great grandfathers, why their great grandmothers, why their mothers, why their grandmothers, why their grandparents were fighting for Biafra restoration, that a certain woman called Ngozi Orabeze presented to Biafrans Islamic account for them to go and pay money, knowing fully well what Biafrans have been through in the hands of Fulani, in the hands of Islam in Nigeria. And their children happens to know that you supported a woman like this. How will they feel about you? So you don't know that history. What we are doing here, history is being recorded. There was a book I read about the role Aseko Baba played during the Biafran War. I've forgotten if within the Biafran War or after the Biafran War that our mothers went to his house and asked him, Obabia Aseka, why did you play the role you played? Because then, during the war, Gowon gave him a position, which he used the position and the office to work against Biafra. Our mothers then went to his house and asked him, Obabia Aseka, why did you play the role you played in our difficult times when the whole world were against us, when the whole world were shelling us bombs and bullets, when the whole world ganged up against them, gang up against us, want our male child to be exterminated? You choose to play the role you played by supporting the enemy. Why did you do so? This is the question our mother asked Obabia Aseka. Do you know what Obabia Aseka replied in response? I don't know. Most Biafrans don't know this. That's why you have to be very careful in this fight for Biafra restoration. You have to be extremely careful. Obabia Aseka in return answered our mother, Onyuberu Naracha. In other words, his time, when Gowon appointed him as a minister to work for Nigeria, which the work is against his people, Biafra. According to him, Obabia Aseka said that was his time. So he enjoyed his time. You know what our mothers did? They went and plucked and sourced for pears. They loaded it in basket and took it to Obabia Aseka house and told Obabia, here are pears. You can enjoy it in fullest as you wish. Most Biafrans don't know this story. Most Biafrans don't know the story I'm saying today. Now the question is this. I'm asking you, woman, in the whole of Biafra land or Igbo land, have you seen any family answering Aseka or Obabia? Have you seen any family answering Aseka or Obabia? None. Do you see how they act the singular act of that Oba Abiasika extinct that name in our place. Have you ever one day seen any family answering Ifajuna? Have you? You know, what most of you don't understand is this. History, what we are doing today, history, is being taken notes. If things that happened in the 60s during the war, if the video will be surfacing, I believe most of us are watching the videos of what happened during the war. Then the world was analog. How much more now that we are in AI generation? No longer Microsoft, AI generation. How much more? I am advising you, don't attract a curse to your family. Biafra is a two-edged sword. It can give you a generational blessing and it can give you a generational curse. A lot of people have gone down for the sake of this Biafra. MNK told us that truth, eziokwu Chineke, is what will give us Biafra. Why must you, in this time of adversary, in this trial time in the history of our Biafra restoration, you know the truth, but you chose not to do what? Not to speak the truth. You choose to do otherwise. In your heart of heart, you know it's the truth. Your conscience is telling you the truth, but you decided to suppress your conscience to propagate lies. It has a very grave and dangerous consequences. Yes. Stop this evil you are doing. Stop this evil you are doing. Ngozi have shown a lot of red flags. At least we have followed MNK, we have followed PM. We know what these guys were doing when they were leading. What they were doing, is it what Ngozi is doing? You are talking about USB, USB, USB. In your heart of heart, have we restored Biafra? Are we in control of our territory? She is telling you guys now about currency. Which nation have recognized us? Which nation have recognized us? Even the ones that recognized us during the war, we've not gone back to them to tell them or to let them know that the reason why we fought the first Biafra war have started again and we are fighting again, that they should remember what our leader, Philip Effiong, told Gowon when he was surrendering. He said, treat these surrendering Biafrans well, because if you fail to treat them well, their children will rise again. Their children will rise again. And we have risen. Most of us were not born during the war. But some of us reincarnated like me. Like me. Some of us reincarnated to finish what we've started. Why do you choose to be supporting evil? The question I'm asking you is simple. Is it Ngozi that bought your smartphone for you? Is it Ngozi that asked you to come and start broadcasting? I so much believe you started this thing on your own. Why won't you speak the truth? Why won't you speak the truth? Why have we gotten Biafra? Are we in control of our territory. We are not in control of our territory. The same military men, the same Biafra Liberation Army you were praising when Simon was here, yes, the same military guys that Simon every Saturday he will be participating in fundraising to raise funds to make sure that this Biafra Liberation Army never lacked. You saw Ngozi and you are seeing Ngozi calling them criminals. These guys who were praising then have come out countless times to say, we've not received a dime from Ngozi. You saw all these things. As a mother like you, imagine if somebody like Gentle happens to be your son or your brother. Imagine. How will you feel to see him coming out on media lamenting that nothing is coming to them? Tell yourself the bitter truth. Tell yourself the truth. Won't you ask him to leave that forest and come out and go and look for another thing to do to better his life? Tell yourself this truth. But these guys have laid down their life even when they placed bounty on their heads. You saw them, people like people whom you are following, we are making mockery of them. And it's not a concern to you. Nigeria government, we are calling them criminals. Ngozi, you are following, still call them criminals. And Simon have boasted countless times that these guys, he's the one leading and commanding them. That whatever they do, they should hold him accountable. The one you are following, you call them criminals, car snatchers. It's not a red flag for you to know that Ngozi is not here to restore Biafra. Where is your conscience? Madam, where is your conscience? Why do you choose to be doing this work of Satan? Why? Why do you choose to be doing the work of Satan? Is Ngozi paying you? Change. 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 Have it in mind that a lot of people have gone down because of this Biafra. It's no longer a child's play. If you know you cannot speak that truth, you know that is happening now. There are a lot of things you got to say about Biafra. Remove your mouth from what is going on now. Since you don't have that courage to speak the truth, you yoku. Kupulenu kupulana. Kupulenu kupulana. I'm just addressing you in this way because I've seen you. My instinct, like I said before, is telling me that you are under a man. You are not this kind of divorcee, people who divorce like Ngozi, who felt that she's not a boss lady. Change for the sake of your children, so that you will not support what you, at the end of the day, it will turn back and start hurting your children. Do what will make your children be proud of you in years to come. Because all the videos you are making, one day they will lay their heads and one day they will find out truth. Will they be proud of you? By then you might be a grandmother or great grandmother. Will they be proud of you? Imagine if your children started asking you, mommy, why are you supporting a woman that brought Islamic Bank and asked Biafrans to go and pay money? At that time, which answer will you give your children? Which answer? Imagine if your grandchildren or great-grandchildren will approach you and ask you, Grandma, why are you supporting a woman that said she has contact of Nigeria that hide their people. That she has their contact. That if not this Biafra, she would have been a minister. If your children confront you with this question, which answer will you give them? It's a question. Sometimes we have to be thinking what we are doing. We have to be thinking. We should know that everything don't end now. There is tomorrow, there is future. All the video you are making, if they called you, Mama, watch this video, look at you at your own young age. If your children approached you and said, Grandma, we are watching your video about Biafra, how you guys fought for Biafra. Grandma, look at what you are saying here. From the other videos we've watched and for the research we made, because the issue of Biafra, you see Biafra, will be, in fact, it's not like Nigeria. Our children will be taught and taught about Biafra, how we fought to liberate ourselves from Nigeria. It must be a compulsory course, because that is where the patriotism starts. If your grandchildren should tell you, Grandma, we see your video, look at you broadcasting, they will start asking you questions. What will you be telling them at that time? What? This is a take-home question that I'm asking you. Biafrans, genuine Biafrans, if you come across this video, please, if you know how this video will get to this woman, please make sure that this video gets to her. Let her watch the video to know that everything doesn't end now. It doesn't end now. You see this life where we do so. You know, social media money. Like we are seeing people who are creating content. People are going overboard to create content. Some will go as far as nakeding themselves just to get views and to make money. Forgotten at old age. If they show you the video, will you be proud enough to watch the video you made? So I'm asking you, at your old age, if your children confront you with the video you are making now, how you are supporting Ngozi, a woman that gave Biafrans Islamic bank account to pay money into. At the process, some of the people that paid money into the account, they blocked their account. Even blocked the account of Simon. These things are going down in history. These things you are seeing, they are all history. And their children now ask you, your great-grandchildren now ask you, Mommy, why are you supporting such a woman? What will you tell them? It's a question. I greet you all, genuine Biafrans, peace and love. Please share this video. Share this video. Share this video to go more viral. Share.
But in this struggle, I just can't stabilize the good here. Then we're by Nigeria. We're using my network in Nigeria. We're by Nigeria, baby. I think about the one church. Okay, can I buy a game on the Southeast governors, South governors? When I'm not about federal, when I'm not going, I'm never with Biafra. I would have been a minister in Nigeria now. So, yeah, they take you, they don't know. No, they have to say, I am the best stabilize here. Who knows stabilize it as here when I say Nigeria? Use your connection yana Nigeria, where me Nigeria name. So, one can get that no can have south to south, east to southwest. No, na use now so when I am federal. And they get. Hello. What did I just say? You cannot give what you don't have. What is it that where are you going with to even the psychiatric hospital. Okay, so that no, no one about how Dahlia every month take a day, how does it because the cuckoo man of God, now when I got your sister, I say criminal, you see, Biafra, Simon. I don't even want to talk about that food. There's some discussions I don't even want to because Biafrans already know. Yes, even one today in this struggle, one on the same table. On the same table with somebody like Sani Aparawa and the get it and got I swear to God that will never happen. Whether all the they see or not, again, people don't even know me. In my name, me and them, or you see, how can Macandana make peace? How can you make peace with this kind of people? When I found on the same channel, I would feel I think I think. No.
When they're feeding them.
So I have a Charlie, I won't get Charlie of my me disturb ya couldn't get a no get cha. Then kita now I got busy. Kind of with you to. Kinda I will put you on a tule. I you put him was a kind ganin. I can get it. The whole world. I know she was even there. Wife, she was in Finland. They said that I want to convince her. Why? They've been cooking it without the girl. So they recognize everything. They do not know the power of the media. Where you stop in media is where they do more. Okay, when them. I don't know that this here I get here now. So onye na-atụ sadiste na nwaanyị arụrụ ala wepụtara olu a now. Kedu reason o ji wee wepụta olu a? Onye unu ga-ajụ nwaanyị a. Kedu ebumnuche ya o ji wee wepụta this olu a? Ihe hara DPM anyị na from Dan ha discuss unu wee hụ otu how wicked and how evil nwaanyị a dị. Nwaanyị a dijichara dangerous karịcha ihe niile ụmụnne m. Nwaanyị a jọka. So ihe na mmadụ na-akpa nkata ihe a onye bịara na-ebu Gaddafi agha mgbe Maazị Simon Ekpa chụpụrụ Gaddafi chụpụrụ ya na ihe anyị na-eme. Nwaanyị a buru Gaddafi agha na-ekwudatị na ihe ọbụla gị na Gaddafi mere na ọnwụ na unu chetara mgbe ihe Gaddafi mere unu ga-aghọta ihe m na-ekwu kịta na nwaanyị a gbara Gaddafi mgba nke fe adịghị datị ihe ọbụla gị na Gaddafi kwuru na ọ ga-erekọdụ sarịrị gị so kịta na gịnị ka nwaanyị a mere. So this woman could were hụ na nwaanyị a wu criminal. Now all this while ọ nọ na-akpọ ụmụ ndị gbuo, ọ na-akpọ ụmụ ajani, ọ na-akpọ ụmụ nke a, ọ na-akpọ ụmụ nke ọzọ, ọ na-ọsị na ya nwa ada ndị mbụ, ada ndị ngede, ada nke otu abụrụ ezi nwaanyị a wu criminal. Ezigbote criminal ahụrụ anya. Agboro paakị, onye nwaanyị ahụ agboro paakị. Gị na mmadụ gị na ụmụ nwaanyị ibe gị na-akọrị nkọrị, ị na-erekọdụ olu ha. Which means ọ ma na ihe ọ ga-eme ọ ka m ji na-agwa ụnụ na otego nwaanyị a planụwara ihe ọ na-eme kịta na otego ọ planụwara ya. Ọ ma na a ga-emecha na ọ ga-enwe mgbe ọ ga-eme wee wepụta ụdị ya wee meme ihe ọ na-eme kịta na ọkwụ na-aghọta ụmụchukwu oke abịa ma ihe m na-ekwu ọkwụ na-aghọta so nwaanyị a otego nwaanyị a ji wee planụwa ihe ọ na-eme kịta na mmiri o ji nye na DPM anyị na-ekwu okwu na Famdean na-ekwu okwu ọ na-erekọdụ ha and ndị ihe na-abụ na-eme ihe ma na ọ na-erekọdụ ha ha nwekwara ike ịma na ọ na-erekọdụ ya because ha trọsụ ya ha nwekwara ike ịma na ọ na-erekọdụ
oke ihe a nwaanyị a na-ekwu ihe a na wepụtara ihe a na kedu ihe ọjọọ our DPM kwuru n'ime okwu a na ụmụ Chukwu oke abịa achọrọ ka unu tụlee okwu a mgbe a ga-emepe mmepe ekwentị achọrọ m ka unu kpọọ unu agwa m sị lekwe na ihe awụ ihe DPM mere na ihe o kwuru na ọ dịghị mma elu okwu ọjọọ DPM kwuru our DPM kwuru hia mere nwaanyị a ji wee wepụta distin n'efere mba ụwa kedu okwu ọjọọ kwuru hia ka anyị na-egekwe ọ sị ndazi na Sani Akparawo mgbe a gara Finland for our declaration nke onye ọbụla hụrụ ya ọ bịa kpọpụtasịa ndị ochie ndị ga-eso ya agba wụọ onwe onye ma na-enwe ihe ha na-esi ya cooking something nwe onye manụ uwe and that Finland ọ gaghị ya nke isi mbụ ọ gaghị ya nke ugboro abụọ ọ gaghị ka unu were hụ na obi nwoke ajọkwa nwoke a na-akpọ this evil person a na-akpọ Sani Akparawo obi ya ajọka enweghị mgbe